Service Commission, members of the National Assembly and Senate, together with EALA, all national and county leaders present, ambassadors and high commissioners present, led by the Dean of Ambassadors, His Excellency Beyene Rusom, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, allow me now to invite on the dais the chairperson of Commission Committee on Development and Security, who is also Member of Parliament for Mavoko, Honorable Patrick Macau, to make some welcoming remarks and thereafter invite the next speaker. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Let me join my MC by recognizing all those protocols. Your Excellency, today is a great day for the Commission and for members of Parliament. Your Excellency, I want to quit this journey with a team of relay because they are usually four. And Your Excellency, when you look at this project, the journey began with the third commission, fourth commission, fifth commission, and this is the sixth commission. Your Excellency, starting a journey is good. Being number one is easier than remaining number one, Mr. Chairman. So I want to thank this commission and the six commissioners who have seen this journey to where it is. Your Excellency, they have burned midnight oil for this project to be successful and have this day successful under the able leadership of our chairman, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Masika Wetangula Moses. Your Excellency, without much ado, I'll just go straight to the program. And Mr. Chairman, one thing that nobody can, Your Excellency, one thing nobody can ever take away from you is a gift you have, and that gift is of memory. Your Excellency, you have a very great memory. You only meet a person once, and you never forget them. Your Excellency, when I grow up, I want to be like you. That is why I don't want to go through this program. Very fast, Your Excellency, allow me to invite the PS Public Works to give his remarks on behalf of the CS Public Works. Karibu sana. Thank you.
Your Excellency, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, the Right Reverend Honorable Moses Wetangula, the Speaker of National Assembly, Honorable Hamason Kingi, the Speaker of Senate, the Leader of Majorities for both houses, Cabinet Secretaries present, Your Excellency, on behalf of the CS, the State Department of Public Works, Lands and Housing, with your permission, I want to take this opportunity to relay her greetings. She's engaged in national exercise on land reforms, policy reform, and today marks a great milestone, Your Excellency, for the launch of this Bunge Tower. This project was conceived and the project consultants were procured by the client in July 2009 by the Parliamentary Joint Service Commission. And the State Department of Public Works was appointed as the project manager, a task which the State Department has taken over, worked with the project consultant, Mutiso Menezes International Limited, in association with the Quante Consultants as the quantity surveyor, MECOI Consultants, electrical and mechanical engineers, and Wanjoi Consultants, structural and civil engineers. The consultants undertook the design and documentation of the project, Your Excellency, with the advice of the project manager. The tender of the construction works was done in June 2012, but the works could not commence due to appeals and court cases by the contractors who were not successful. The contract was eventually awarded, entered into in September 2013, and the site handed over to the contractor in February 2014. The project comprises of a tower block with 26 floors and 4 basements. The tower block accommodates offices for members of parliament, committee rooms fully equipped with audiovisual installations, for communication, a gym complete with all necessary gym equipment, a fully equipped kitchen, dining hall and cafeteria, library, access block to the old Parliament building, and the necessary support facilities. Your Excellency, despite the challenges that the project underwent, but I want to report that the project team, the client, and the project manager, they were able to manage the challenges and ensure that the variations and the challenges faced were overcome. And thus, this great day is a great day for this facility, for the country. And the team managing the project was able to realize all this. And therefore, Your Excellency, my CS, being a former member of Parliament, I said she had her first office during her first term was a rented one. And for the second one, she got an office in a Continental House. And now this Bunge Tower has achieved a milestone that has the capacity to house all members that will be able to save Parliamentary Service Commission a big budget. And since it is within the presence of Parliament, it is accessible, convenient, and safer for members to do their work effectively. I thank the Parliamentary Service Commission for a Joint Parliamentary Service Commission as a client for appointing us as the State Department of Public Works as its project manager. And I want to say, finally, the project now complete, and it's an opportunity and a great opportunity that the President is launching it, and the Deputy President, and also the Prime Cabinet Secretary who served as distinguished legislators in Parliament. Thank you, Your Excellency, and may God bless all of us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. As I told you, this journey has been a collective responsibility. If you look at around here, we have men and women who have done everything in the book to ensure that this project is completed. Your Excellency, because of that teamness, allow me now to invite the majority leader in the National Assembly, Honorable Echungwa. Karibu sana, make your remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Makau. Your Excellency, the President, Deputy President, the Right Honorable Speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate, Honorable members, good morning. Your Excellency, the President, it's indeed my pleasure to welcome you and the Deputy President to your former house, the Parliament of Kenya. Your Excellency, as you have witnessed as you went through the building, you have seen that we have a very ultra-modern building. Your Excellency, when Speaker and the chairperson of the Parliamentary Service Commission was elected, the Speaker and became the chairperson of the Parliamentary Service Commission, many members will recall that Speaker Wetangula did promise us that within this term, we will use this building, and must take this opportunity on behalf of all the members of the National Assembly and indeed all members of Parliament, including those in the Senate, to thank the Commission and the chairperson of the Parliamentary Service Commission for the great work that you have done to actualize the completion of this building. Your Excellency, this building, the completion of this building also marks a very momentous occasion for us. You know, Your Excellency, under your administration, you have endeavored to make sure that all government agencies, ministries, and departments do cut on costs. And Your Excellency, the completion and opening of this building that you've just done this morning goes a long way to helping the institution of Parliament and indeed the legislature to institutionalize huge cost-cutting measures. Your Excellency, you have witnessed and seen many of the committee rooms, almost 26 committee rooms that are now operational in this building. And I'll just give you an example, Your Excellency, because you did ask a question about those committees that are bigger than 15 members, and part of those committees in the Budget and Appropriations Committee, which I'm fortunate to have chaired in the last Parliament. On average, Your Excellency, every time we were processing budget, like the process that will begin from the end of next week, when you submit the annual estimates, the Budget and Appropriations Committee has had to retreat to a hotel for a period of about 2 weeks to consider the budget estimates. During that period, Your Excellency, the National Assembly has been incurring an average of 1.5 million shillings on a daily basis for the 2 weeks that the committee would retreat to a hotel, either on Mombasa Road or in South Sea at the Boma Hotel. That tells you, Your Excellency, the amount of savings that you'll be making, not just in this institution, but also in your government, because we require many ministers, many principal secretaries to be present in those meetings, and they have had to commute from their offices in the CBD to out of Nairobi, taking a lot of their time, Your Excellency. We've also had challenges, Your Excellency, with committees meeting, and at times your own ministers and PSs appear for committee meetings, and there are no rooms because we had less than 10 committee rooms. Indeed, I think we had only 9 committee rooms. We've had to use the small dining room, the new dining wing on the new side of Senate, to be able to accommodate the committees that are sitting. And many a times we've had meetings cancelled to a great expense, not just to Parliament, but also to other institutions in government. Therefore, Your Excellency, the opening of these new Bunge towers that you have just opened this morning will also, is also in line with the cost-cutting measures that your administration has instituted. And we thank the Commission for the great work they have done. And Your Excellency, we do pray that this building will be utilized by all these members for the better service to the people of Kenya. And of course, as we oversight your government, to ensure that there is meaningful and proper oversight of all government ministries and departments. With those many remarks, thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. Your Excellency, once more, you know, the journey of a politician is very interesting. Your Excellency, there's a gentleman here who I call him very lucky. Your Excellency, last Parliament, a very young man from the Rift Valley joined the Senate, and he was lucky to be nominated commissioner in the 5th Commission, and now is a majority leader in the Senate. Now, Your Excellency, it's my singular pleasure to invite Senator Commissioner Cheruyot to make his remarks. Karibu.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the President, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Prime Cabinet Secretary, our 2 speakers, colleague members of Parliament, and all guests who have come. I greet you all good morning. It gives me a great pleasure, Your Excellency, to be back here this morning to celebrate alongside the Parliamentary Service Commission and our colleague members of Parliament to open this building that many people have worked extremely hard. This building has transited over 3 commissions, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. And eventually today we are here to celebrate its opening. Your Excellency, welcome home. In your public life, both you actually and the Deputy President, you've been in Parliament longer than you have been in the Executive. You're here for 15 years. I think you've been in the Executive for only 12, and 5 for your Deputy here in Parliament, and 2 at the Executive. So this is home for you. I don't want to calculate for the Prime Cabinet Secretary. I think he came here long before I was born. And glad to have all of you here. There are many things that we can celebrate about this building, Your Excellency, but the best that I recall, because I worked together with my colleagues in the 5th Commission to ensure that certain elements of this building reflect what we espouse as a country, is the audiovisual system. What you haven't been told, Your Excellency, is that in all the 26 committee rooms, they are fitted with state-of-the-art audiovisual technology that allows the people of the Republic of Kenya to follow for the very first time committee sittings live in session. Meaning that as a member of Parliament, and this is a warning to my colleagues who are here, you can no longer tell your constituents that, oh, sorry, I can't pick your call, I'm in a committee. Because it's on a live website, and they know the committees you're serving. They can easily go and see whether you're present or you're not. But most importantly, is the fact that members of the public will know how you as a committee arrived at certain decisions before you bring your report back to the House. All the 26 committee rooms. And I celebrate the team that put together that, because we are taking Parliament to the people of the Republic of Kenya, and they'll be happy to know, even before we debate on the floor, why committees have voted this way or the other way in consideration of legislation. I don't intend to be long. I thank you, members. Thank you also for finding time to join us this morning. On behalf of the Senate and the leadership that is here, my not the deputy, but leader of minority is also here, and our colleagues from the minority side. We thank you for finding time. I thank you all. God bless you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Senator Cheriot. Your Excellency, now allow me, just like in legislature, there is amending and deleting. We are going to amend this program, and I'm told I now call the leader of minority in the National Assembly, one Honorable Wandai. Karibu sana.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, of the Defense Forces, the Kenya Defense Forces, Honorable William Ruto, you are the Deputy President, Your Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the two speakers, all protocol observed. Mine is very, very simple. First and foremost is to congratulate the Parliamentary Service Commission for this wonderful achievement. Your Excellency, when we came to this Parliament for the first time in 2013, this was a parking lot. And we parked our cars here for about 2 or so months before the foundation was laid of this wonderful building. But we cannot forget that this project was perhaps conceived by the 10th Parliament under the able leadership of Speaker Kenneth Marendi. Later on, of course, the project was undertaken under the chairmanship of Speaker J.B. Muturi, who is here with us, and a lot of other people have contributed to the completion of this project. Let me say also, Your Excellency, that a number of things have been said about this project in the public. But I must also confirm that in the 12th Parliament, I was privileged to chair the Public Accounts Committee. And I was also in that committee with my good friend, Honorable Aden Duale, and he's here, and Honorable Makau, the commissioner. At no one time were we able to establish any form of impropriety, because we were able to look at the books of accounts for the PSC. And therefore, Your Excellency, I want to allay any fears that could have been there, that perhaps this project has been shrouded in some form of mystery or corruption. You know, I like talking about facts. When I talk out there, I talk when I've got facts at my fingertips. And therefore, for this project, Your Excellency, if I were to be asked, I would give it a clean bill of health. And therefore, for us as members of Parliament, I think we are privileged. In this part of the world, I must say actually in the entire Africa, no parliament has got this kind of facility. I can tell you. We have been able to go across the continent and beyond. A number of parliaments, even in the Western world, lack this kind of facility. And therefore, we must actually pat ourselves on the back as a country, first and foremost, and also as a parliament. So, Your Excellency, thank you very much and for accepting to come and grace this wonderful occasion. We look forward to working with you more and more as a parliament. As a parliament. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The reason why we're having this kind of Royco Mchuzi mix is because, Your Excellency, you know, the journey of funding this building is about exchequer releases. And these majority leaders in the houses have really been of great help when it comes to us asking for or requesting for exchequer releases. That is one of the biggest challenges that we've had. And Your Excellency, within us is one gentleman who used to walk to Treasury to demand exchequer release for this project. He's a gentleman who was the first majority leader in the National Assembly in the new constitution and is now the CS Defense, one Honorable Duale. Karibu sana, and make your remarks. You are still loved in Parliament. Karibu sana.
Your Excellency the President, Your Excellency the Deputy President, Your Excellency the Prime Cabinet, and our two great speakers, good morning. Your Excellency, allow me to confess that you used to have an office yourself here when you were the Minister for Agriculture. And to confess more, you were very diligent at the gym. You used to come there at 5:30. And you used to do 30 minutes on the treadmill. We used to wonder how you used to run that time. And I'm sure the Speaker was the Minister for Foreign Affairs. He had an office here. The Speaker of the Senate was the Minister for Fisheries. He used to have an office here. And Honorable Musalia Mudavadi and many, many other colleagues, ministers and members of parliament. Your Excellency, I agree with the Honorable Wandai. This is a parliament with the best infrastructure. And this morning when I came, Your Excellency, I wanted just to look at the tunnel from the main building to the chambers, from this building to the main building of parliament. Because I am sure right now, the people who will suffer are the voters. The voters today are not very happy. They used to get members of parliament on this square on their way to the chamber. Now members of parliament, Your Excellency, will go through the tunnel. And those of you who went to the US Capitol Hill, US Congress, exactly the same tunnel. So our standard is that standard of the US Congress, the Capitol Hill. Your Excellency, Honorable Wandai also did not say, you know, when I joined the Public Accounts Committee, I was a ranking member. He was my chairman. And it was the days I was discharged from duty as the leader of majority. So the only place, the only good committee that I could fit was Public Accounts Committee, where one day when he's not very when he's away, he could allow me to chair. You know, the leader of majority emeritus cannot go to Energy Committee, cannot go to Education Committee. So I talked to Ichungwa. I told him, Ichungwa became a member of, after he was discharged, he became a member of catering committee. So he came to me, he said, I am not going to accept. And I told him, no, no. And my old friend, Marehemu Jakoyo, used to be a member of the catering. He never used to join any other committee. And they know the reason why. When you are a member of the catering committee, there's some very good privilege that come with it. You don't pay for any of the services, including food, including the gym. So I convinced Ichungwa, I know you're not, your pocket now is not that good. Stay there. And the moment I told him the free goodies, Ichungwa said, this is the best committee. Your Excellency. So, Your Excellency, I really want to thank, as I finish, I want to thank the Speaker of the National Assembly, who is the chairman of the PAC, and the Speaker of the Senate, and the members of PAC, and the leadership, the two clerks, and all my former colleagues of this House for at least coming to the conclusion that this building must be used by our parliamentarians and by the staff of Parliament. Your Excellency used to come to a committee, but I think now we have a better committee rooms. At least I can confess for the first time as a Minister for Defense, I was grilled by Honorable Koech, the Chairman of Defense, about 2 weeks ago. So this is good for Kenya, and on behalf of all my colleagues, I'm sure that's why I was told to speak. In the cabinet, Your Excellency, we are about 10 of us who are in one time, starting with you, the Deputy President, the Prime Cabinet. We are about 10 of us who are former parliamentarians. So that's why I think, so on behalf of all those people, including Mheshimiwa Alice Ohome, I want to thank you, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Now, you know, in IT there are passwords and they have levels. Your Excellency, now my level of password is coming to an end because there are former commissioners who are here, there are former speakers who are here. Your Excellency, those ones will be introduced by a gentleman who has mastered the Queen's language, and he puts it like his Luya mother tongue. So, Your Excellency, allow me, in a very special way, say, as a chairman of Security Development, I have seen serious commitment and support by the various teams that came together. Your Excellency, beginning with the team of management from National Assembly and Senate, led by the clerk of the National Assembly, by the clerk of the Senate, who is also the secretary to the commission, the Director General of Parliamentary Joint Services. Your Excellency, they worked together with the contractors and all the government agencies to see to it that this project was completed in time. Your Excellency, it was not easy. We've had challenges. As I told you, exchequer releases were a big problem. However, Mr. Chairman, one thing I want to really compliment the Sixth Commission is that they came in under the leadership of Dr. Moses Wetangula and put together the contractors who, again, I want to thank them in a special way. Despite having some outstanding amounts, they came together and Your Excellency made sure that this building is commissioned by you during your term. Your Excellency, I want to thank you in a very special way, the way you have continued supporting the commission, and I am sure, going forward, this commission, and you've seen we don't have enough offices. Your Excellency, going forward, if we get the funds, I can tell you, we are going to complete the CPSC, we are going to buy all these parliamentary square. Your Excellency, I know now, if you walk to Parliament, you will see something beautiful. You think like you are walking in the greeneries of London. We are trying to bring London here. Your Excellency, if you walk around here now, you will see there is some sense of greenery, and we are compliant to green energy 2030, Vision 2030, I think so, Your Excellency. Once more, allow me now to invite one seasoned politician, Your Excellency, who has worked in the government ministries as a senior civil servant, and again, notably, the last engagement, he was the governor, Kilifi County, for 2 terms, who is now the current Speaker of the Senate. Speaker Kingi, who will now take over the program from here, invite the Speaker of the National Assembly, who is the chairman of the PSC Commission. And from there, Your Excellency, the Speaker of the National Assembly will introduce the former commissioners, former speakers, and introduce the Sixth Commission. I thank you so much. And finally, members of Parliament, you saw what happened in Mavoko. I want to tell you and confess here, His Excellency released 2 boats from the KDF that help people from Mavoko who are on rooftops. Your Excellency, I want to thank you in a very special way. We also got relief food because their food and beddings were carried away. Your Excellency, I don't take it for granted. I thank you so much, and I welcome you once more. After the rains are over, you come and see the people of Mavoko. We want to really give you thumbs up the way you've given me. Finally, I have realized there are prophets in this commission. Your Excellency, yesterday when we were doing our final meeting, Honorable Mudhama prayed and said he is going to call the gods to hold the crowds. And when the president will be here, there won't be any raid. You can see for yourselves, Your Excellency. Mudhama, I think you are a prophet. Karibu sana Lena Komba. You are, Mr. Speaker, sir, please come and make your remarks. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, before I make my short remarks, allow me to invite our host governor, Governor Sakaja, to make his remarks. If I don't do that, there is a small road he's doing for me somewhere. I may jeopardize that.
Thank you so much, Speaker of the Senate, Your Excellency, the President, the Deputy, the Right Honorable Speakers, former colleagues. Your Excellency, this building fills us with a lot of nostalgia. I have been a member here, and we used to joke that when the building is done, we should call it the Mirage, because it kept moving. You know, it was a moving target that we couldn't see where to get to. But truly, this is Kenya House. Your Excellency, our constitution is clear about the place of parliament, that since all Kenyans cannot fit in one room, that we divide ourselves, if you look at Article 89, into as equal as possible constituencies to have somebody to represent us. This is Kenya House. This is where the people of Kenya, you know, actually congregate through the elected representatives. I'm very proud of the work done over the years. I want to congratulate the Commission Honorable Kingola has forgotten to mention the work we've done together to do this entire square, you know, in 2 months, Your Excellency. If you look at the cabro, if you look at the trees, the garden. But now there's not a problem, but an opportunity that has been transferred to me. Because with the tunnel, all these people are coming to City Hall, Your Excellency. If they cannot wait for their members here, they will come, and I'll be very happy to host them at City Hall because they can come in. Your Excellency, part of parliamentary tradition is what we call the lobby. If you go to Westminster, the space between the House of Commons and the House of Lords is what is called the lobby, and that is where the word lobbying came from, because people would come to lobby their members about a legislation or an intervention. I hope that either in this square or somewhere, we can still find a place, and even with the technology we have today, because we have Twitter, Facebook, we have email, we can find a way through which our people will still feel close to their elected representatives. Hongera for the work, Speaker, Chairman of the Commission. He has been on my case every 2 days, 3 days when our team has not been there because of the rains. But I'm very happy and proud of the team from the county, also led by Engineer Tirop, for the work that they've been able to do. We pray for continued partnership between ourselves and Parliament. We respect the place of Parliament in our governance structure. My entire career, I've been here longer than I've been a governor. I've been here 10 years. I've been a member of National Assembly. I've chaired committees where we've had to look for space. In fact, I'm the only member of National Assembly who's chaired senators, because I chaired the only joint committee then that had both the Senate and the National Assembly. And that time it was daunting. I want to encourage the young members. I had members like the late Otieno Kajwang, the late General Kaiseri, members like, former Minister Obure. And there's this 28-year-old who is telling them, you're out of order. And they will tell me, come on, Kijana, what do you know? But over time, it turned into respect. I see so many young members of Parliament today. I want to encourage them. The Bible in Hebrews and in 1 Timothy, actually, 4:16 says, let no one look down upon you because you're of your age, but set an example in speech, in deed, and in the work you do as a young person. I've gone through this house, and today I'm the governor of Nairobi and proud to host Parliament. So Hongera, let us keep cooperating. Anything that you ever require, Speaker, National Assembly, Speaker, Senate, you're the Speaker of the place I love the most. You know, I love coming to the Senate. It's just 1 or twice I've not been around. Today I'm with you. Today I'm here with you and no one is asking me a question. I'm very happy. I hope this can be the tempo that we keep on with, even in subsequent visits. Let us maintain this place. Senator Mudhama yesterday spoke to me and called on me and said, this place looks now like Europe. Why can't we do this in the entire Nairobi? And I said, I'd love to do it, but ni chapa. You know, if we had those resources, I would urge senators and National Assembly members, division of revenue in Abuja. This can be replicated. We're doing the same in Lower CBD. We're doing the same on River Road, Race Course Road, Latema Road. If you go to Tomboya, it is all being constructed so that we can give our people the same dignity that the members of Parliament have here. So all the best, and you can count on us as the county government of Nairobi, and also as the governors. On behalf of the Council of Governors, Hongera for this milestone. May God bless you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, my brother, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, and also the Chairperson of the Parliamentary Service Commission, honorable members present, the Prime Cabinet Secretaries present, clerks of Parliament, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, I take this opportunity to welcome you most cordially to the official opening of this iconic building. This event is a culmination of years of hard work and marks a significant milestone in the history of Parliament of Kenya. Bunge Tower symbolizes progress in the development of public institutions in our republic. Indeed, we do acknowledge the effort by the Parliamentary Service Commission in ensuring that the structure incorporates modern building technologies and environmentally sustainable practices that showcases Kenya's advancement in green building and promoting energy efficiency. This demonstrates our appreciation of the reality of climate change which has emerged as one of the most pressing global challenges. The modern facilities available in this building, among them the library, gymnasium, committee rooms, and other essential amenities, provide conducive environment for members of Parliament and the Parliamentary Service Commission staff and promises to enhance their work output. Your Excellency, sir, the promulgation of the new Constitution in 2010 gave birth to a new political dispensation in our country, which radically altered our engagements in our socio-economic and political spheres. Notably, it redefined political representation by introducing a new model featuring a devolved system of governance and reverted to a bicameral parliament comprising the Senate and the National Assembly. Consequently, our legislature witnessed a rise in the number of members as the re-established Senate brought in 67 senators, 47 of them elected by counties and 20 nominated to represent different interest groups. The National Assembly, too, was not left out, as more honorable members came on board, swelling its ranks from an initial 224 to the current 349, a notable inclusion being the 47 women representatives. Inevitably, Your Excellency, this increase in number of legislators occasioned an unprecedented surge in demand for office space for members and their support staff, compelling Parliament to seek additional space. This necessitated the renting of premises within Parliament, Parliament Square, and the CBD at large to mitigate the situation. Over the years, this has proved to be counterproductive, as it has saddled Parliament with an annual rent bill that has since soared to 400 million. This predicament fully justifies the need for an office block that not only presents a centralized work environment with all essential amenities easily within reach, but also meets the standards of a modern workstation ideal for our legislators, while curtailing further expenditure on rent. This is what Bunge Tower is, a game changer for Parliament and the Kenyan community. For the Senate, Your Excellency, Bunge Tower bears additional significance in being the latest milestone in a remarkable journey of improving facilities and workstation for members, both for plenary and committee activities. Thanks to the support by the Exchequer, honorable senators now sit in a modern chamber with a capacity for 80 members, a commendable progress from the modest presence they occupied first at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, and later at the County Hall. Your Excellency, as I conclude, allow me to reiterate that the completion of Bunge Tower undoubtedly instilled in us a sense of pride and ownership, symbolizing our collective investment in the future of this country. It stands out not only for the beauty it adds to the Nairobi skyline, but for its outstanding features that have been of great interest to visiting delegations and school teams on learning tours. Without doubt, this will continue to bolster the image of Parliament of Kenya as an institution and as a destination for benchmarking for other parliaments in Africa and beyond. This is a big plus for our nation. Once again, Your Excellency, I sincerely thank you for accepting the invitation to grace this great event to officially open Bunge Tower. May God bless you, and may God bless Kenya. Thank you. I will at this juncture invite my brother, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly and Chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission. Karibu.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker Kingi. Your Excellency, our President, our Deputy President, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Speaker of the Senate, Governor of Nairobi, our Deputy Speakers, our Commissioners. Allow me to, in a very special way, thank you, Your Excellency, for accepting to come to this event. When we talked yesterday, you actually wanted to be here by 8. And I told you, I'm not sure our kitchen is functioning. So you arrived right on time. And before I say anything, allow me, one, to acknowledge the presence in our midst of our former speakers who conceived this idea and saw it to where it is. We have Speaker Emeritus Xavier Francis Olekaparo in our midst. It was at his time that this plot was purchased for Parliament. Allow me to acknowledge Speaker Kenneth Marende is in our midst. At his time, the designs were made and the building is now here. We have the Honorable Kijana, my brother, my classmate and roommate, Justin Bedan Njoka Muturi, our current Attorney General and our immediate former Speaker. Thank you very much. We have in our midst former commissioners of the Parliamentary Service Commission. You may be upstanding to be acknowledged. We have Jimmy Angwenyi, we have Dr. Ali, I can see Olaga Alwoj, I can see all of you. We have Adan Kainan, we have Lona Melo, we have Dr. Naomi Shaban, Aaron Cheriot who spoke here, we have Walter Nyambati, we have Lekuton, and who haven't I mentioned? We have Momanyi, Ben, karibu sana. Ole Sunguya, my MP from Kajiado, karibu sana. We have also the current, have I left out anybody? We have the current commissioners. Will you be upstanding? Your Excellency, this is the current commission. My Vice Chair, Senator Joyce Korir. We have Commissioner Patrick Kingola Makau, Commissioner Jijopevu Muhammad Ali, Commissioner Senator Kinywa, we call him Wangwashe, Commissioner Mama Mishi Mbogo, remain standing there, Mishi. Commissioner Faith Gitau, take your seat. Commissioner Senior Counsel Okongo Mogeni, Senator. Commissioners representing the public, non-parliamentary commissioners, Rachel Ameso, and Commissioner Johnston Nduya Mudhama. The Secretary of the Commission is the Clerk of the Senate, Mr. Jeremiah Nyengenye. I want to invite Mishi Mbogo on behalf of the Commission and also to break the monotony of too many male speakers. Yes, for Commissioner Mishi Mbogo, akate Kiswahili kidogo, ndio niendelee.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika wa Bunge letu la Kitaifa, Rais wetu wa Jamhuri ya Taifa la Kenya, Daktari William Samoei Ruto, Deputy President wa taifa letu la Kenya, Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, maspika wetu wawili ambao mmoja ni Dr. Wetangula Masika, pia Jefferson Amason Kingi, Spika wa Seneti, na pia kutambua mawaziri walioko hapa wote. Nimemuona waziri Mheshimiwa Duale. Tumepata pia apology ya Mheshimiwa Alice Wahome na wale mawaziri walioko hapa. Viongozi, maspika wa zamani walioko hapa, makamishna wa kitambo walioko hapa, niweze kusema itifaki zote zikizingatiwa. Kwanza ni shukrani zetu kubwa sana kwa niaba ya makamishna wenzangu wa Parliamentary Service Commission kumshukuru Rais wa Jamhuri ya Taifa hili la Kenya, na niweze kumwambia ya kwamba leo umeweka historia, kwa sababu jumba hili lilianzishwa miaka ya nyuma kulipokuwa na utawala wa marais wengine. Lakini Mwenyezi Mungu na mipango yake, kumbe ilikuwa ni Daktari William Samoei Ruto aweze kuweka historia ya kufungua jumba la kifahari, jumba ambalo limechukua modeli ya kisasa, ya kitaifa, ya kiulimwengu. Tunashukuru sana wale wote ambao walishiriki katika njia moja ama nyingine ili kuwezesha wabunge waweze kupata mazingira mazuri ya kuweza kufanya kazi ya mwananchi, kwa sababu tunajua wabunge wanafanya mambo ya sheria, pia wabunge wanafanya ile tunaita oversight, na pia ile tunaita uwakilishaji, representation. Kwa hivyo mpaka sasa, mbali ya kuwa tumeweza kukomboa taifa letu, kupunguza mambo ya utumiaji wa fedha, manake tumeona kila wakati rais anasema lazima to minimize expenditure. Kwa hivyo nimeona wazungumzaji wa mbele wamesema kweli tutakuwa tumesave pesa nyingi sana ambazo tungeweza kwenda kwenye mahoteli ama kukodisha sehemu nyingine kuweza kuendeleza kazi zetu kama wabunge wa taifa la Kenya. Tunakushukuru sana rais, na tunakuombea Mungu, na tunakuomba pia uzidi kutupatia support ili exchequer wakitupatia release, ili bunge litaweza kung'ara. Vile ulivyoliona utakuja kuliona limebadilika zaidi, kwa njia ambayo yeyote atakayekuja Kenya for benchmarking ama kujua Wakenya wanaendeleza vipi kazi za mabunge, wote watafurahi. Haya yote tumeyafanya kwa ushirikiano wa our able chairman ambaye tunamuita Papa wa Roma, Mheshimiwa Daktari Masika Wetangula. Amekimbia sana, si mchana si usiku, na tunashukuru in our team we have a spirit ile ya kufanya kazi pamoja. Hatuna mgawanyiko despite our political affiliation. Tunasema this is Kenya, we have to build our country, we have to be united, and we have to ensure development will prosper in our country. Thank you, Your Excellency, and thank you very much with other leaders. May God bless all of us. Thank you.
Well done, Mishi. Your Excellency, allow me to acknowledge also the presence of our Director General of Parliamentary Service Commission, Bwana Nyandiere, the Clerk of the National Assembly, Bwana Njoroge, karibu sana. We also invited to witness this occasion several members of the diplomatic corps. May I request you to be upstanding to be acknowledged. The ambassadors and high commissioners who are here, give them a round of applause. Thank you. Allow me also to acknowledge Stewart Mazayo, the leader of the minority party in the Senate. He didn't have an opportunity to speak. Welcome, my brother. I'll invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary to say a few remarks before I make my statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Excellency the President, Your Excellency the Deputy President, the two speakers, distinguished legislators, ladies and gentlemen. I will be very brief. My first remark, Your Excellency, is to join the previous speakers to commend the Parliamentary Service Commission for a job well done. A few years ago, not few, maybe several, we had a lot of controversy just acquiring Continental Towers in Parliament. I think at that time I was at the Treasury. And it was an uphill task because I think people did not see the need to elevate the status of Parliament in terms of giving it proper facilities. So it was a very controversial decision at that time. But everything has a good lining. And today, we really congratulate you in this new structure. This building, in my view, has tremendously elevated the status of Parliament. Tremendously elevated the status of Parliament. And with an elevated status comes with elevated expectations, comes with elevated scrutiny, comes with elevated competition. I'm sure politicians out in the field are now looking at this. Mujichunge sana wajumbe. The second thing I want to say, Your Excellency, is that you have always taken the issue of Parliament very seriously. And indeed, it is your government that has created the first State Department of Parliamentary Affairs. We have never had a State Department of Parliamentary Affairs before, but in your government, you saw it fit to take the issues around the legislature very seriously, and in the process, created this State Department to provide liaison and better understanding and cooperation with Parliament. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this big day, let us acknowledge that we have to work as a team. There's no option. And if you do anything otherwise, it will be at the peril of the country, and that should not happen. So with these remarks, congratulations, and wish you the very best as you serve the Kenyan people. Asante.
Thank you very much. One of my great Kiswahili writers, Shaban Robert of Kusadikika, would have called this day siku ya watenzi wote. Na leo ni siku ya watenzi wote. The Greeks would have said a day like this is preserved for gods, heroes, and legends. Indeed, this is such a day. We have heroes and legends. I'm not sure we have any gods in a day like this. Your Excellency, this building was started when you are a member of Parliament. It was started when many of us were here. When some of us who have served for a little longer than many of you came to this Parliament, there was no office for any single member. Your working station was your car if you had a car, because many members didn't have cars either. We were being paid a salary of 18,000 in a brown envelope from a cash office, from the OP. Parliament was a department of the OP. And it's come a long way. When Francis Ole Kaparo was elected Speaker, I was a first-termer, and he picked me to sit in the Speaker's panel. And he embarked on reforming Parliament. It is the time of Kaparo that we had a gym. It's the time of Kaparo that we had Continental House. And things have moved on. We salute you, Mr. Kaparo. This evening, I'm coming to preside on the launching of your book, and I invite members to join you. We have moved on to where we are. Parliament is now a vibrant, independent institution acting in representation, oversight of the government and legislation to make our country better. This building here, Your Excellency, when I got the privilege to be the Speaker of the National Assembly of Kenya, I toured with my commissioners, and there was a real risk of this building turning into a stalled project and a white elephant. Contractors had left. We had to go around looking for the contractors, the subcontractors, and we have been meeting every fortnight, sometimes every week, to pin contractors to get back to work, threatening some of them with criminal sanctions because some had been paid money and had left the site. Skeptics were wondering whether we were going to get there. Anybody now going to this building can see that Senator Sakaja, our governor, has now a new skyline in the city of Nairobi. When you drive from Westlands to the airport, apart from the new Marriott Hotel, the next most iconic building along the way is this building. Beautiful, very good to look at. And the facilities we are providing members of parliament to do their work are first class. The only parliament in my many travels I can compare with this building is probably the Parliament of Australia in Canberra. It is as good as any other. It is even, I dare say, better facilities than the House of Commons in the UK, and those of you who have been there. So we come here today, Your Excellency, with a lot of pride and gratitude to the government for financing this project, and for your government particularly for ensuring that this project is completed, because I can't count the number of times you have been asking me, hiyo nyumba itakuisha lini? Hiyo nyumba tutafungua lini? Today is that great day, siku ya watenzi wote. Today, as we open this building, honorable members, I want to join the honorable minority leader, Wandai, to allay the skeptics who have been pouring vitriol on the structure, the rejectionists, and many others who have been saying many things. This building is here. We will use it, and it will serve the purpose for which it was meant. Your Excellency, equally in a transparent and democratic manner, the allocation of offices for all members from both houses was through balloting. There's no member who was favored to be given an office, apart from the ranking members. Everybody else balloted, and those who have missed out, we are going to renovate Continental House to make sure that we accommodate all members within reach of Parliament. We also want to, in a special way, thank the partnership with the city government of Nairobi. Where we are sitting here was a parking lot for vehicles that carry dead bodies from Nairobi to other parts of the country. It was full of hearse vehicles here. This whole area was full of pools of water. When it rains, you cannot pass anywhere here. When I was exiled from leadership of the Senate, I was allocated an office in some building here called Red Cross. Whenever it rained, I would drive here and go back home because there was no access to the office. But now, this is one of the most beautiful gardens in the city of Nairobi, thanks to the governor of Nairobi, Honorable Sakaja. As I finish, Your Excellency, I want, on behalf of the Parliamentary Service Commission and the entire Parliament fraternity, to give you a firm assurance that Parliament will do its bit. Parliament will oversight your government. Parliament will appropriate resources for your government. Parliament will pass good laws to give meaning to your transformative agenda for the country, the Republic of Kenya, that you have embarked on. And above all, Parliament will be a partner in fostering security, stability, and unity of our country. I told our members as I finish, Your Excellency, from the restless North Rift, that it cannot be only the firepower of the police that will restore peace in those areas. That our members of Parliament from those counties, Baringo, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, Samburu, Laikipia, Turkana, must go to the ground and engage the ordinary people. Our young people who are causing mayhem are the people who vote for you. Go back and talk to them and make it easier for our people to live together, to love each other, and to be patriotic, and to know that the pain of one Kenyan is the pain for all Kenyans. Let me finish here, Your Excellency, by once again thanking you for taking your time with the members of your executive to come and preside over the opening of this magnificent building. It's truly a day for heroes, gods, and legends for Parliament. Allow me now to invite Mutu wa kusema ukweli, my brother Rigiji, our Deputy President, to come and make a few remarks, and then invite you. As he does so, on behalf of my brother Kingi, let me also acknowledge and mention in a special way our able deputies. You may be upstanding. My able deputy, Mama Sholei, karibu sana, and Bwana Gadhuri, Deputy Speaker in the Senate. You are not given an opportunity to speak, but you always speak in the House, so you shouldn't complain. Karibu sana.
Your Excellency, our President, Dr. William Ruto, the Right Honorable Speakers of both Houses, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, honorable members, good morning. Your Excellency, there is no constitutional provision for a Deputy President to ever address the two houses. So let me take advantage and circumvent our constitutional provisions and address the members of the two houses. Your Excellency, I'm very delighted to accompany you this morning to come back to Parliament, where I spent 5 years and had a very good time. But as I must admit, I didn't spend enough time in Parliament I would have wanted. I was out there with the President, tukipanga maneno ndio aketi pahali ameketi. If I was to have another chance, I would have spent more time. But I want to congratulate the Parliamentary Service Commission for the Bunge Towers. We have gone round. It's a very comfortable place. You have everything you need. Please do justice in that good environment by putting hard work and serving the people who sent you to Parliament in terms of oversight and representation and making good laws. Yangu tu ni kusema hiyo pahali vile nimeona imekaa, watu wengi sana wangetaka kuja kuketi hapo. Najua mimi ni mtu ya kusema ukweli. Sasa hiyo comfort nimeona pale, mkaekae hapo Friday, mteremuke mashinani. Hapo ndio maneno iko. Because hapa ni mzuri, lakini maneno iko pale. So as you spend more time here, muende mashinani mufanye kazi. Finally, Your Excellency, let me take this opportunity to ask the members of the two houses. We have several programs of government that we really need your support. And by the way, let us say thank you for your support of our legislative agenda. The budget is on the way, the supplementary budget is on the way. Please continue supporting our agenda so that we can serve the people of Kenya better. We have two programs that I want to ask for your support. We have a program on drug and substance abuse that we are fighting, that the President has directed me to lead a multi-agency team to make sure that we protect our people, our young people, the productive population from drugs. When we hold forums with our security agencies and our administrators, we do normally invite you as leaders to come so that we work together. Please, we'll be having some forum in Garissa, another one here in Nairobi, another one in Kisii, another one in Kakamega. When we do invite you, please do come so that together we can make decisions. And let me confirm for the avoidance of doubt that this administration under President William Ruto has tremendous respect for elected leaders across the political divide. The President is so persuaded that the contribution of elected leaders in terms of governance is critical. So when we do call upon you to come and engage with us in the national government, please always come. Mimi natakia nyinyi mema. We miss politics a lot kwa sababu hii kazi rais amepanga ya uchumi na nini imetutoa kwa siasa. Tuko kwa numbers, kupiga hesabu nini ni kazi ngumu. Sasa nimeona Honorable Mishi Mboko here. Ameongea vizuri sana, dada yangu. You've spoken very well. Sasa nikauliza rais, is this Mishi Mboko ile mjumbe ya Likoni? Because he speaks very well mkikutana huko. Lakini akifika pale akishika microphone, anatoa maneno mpaka unashangaa. So I think politics is very interesting. With those very many remarks, let me request you to be upstanding and help me to usher in the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, to come and address you. Mr. President.
Asante.
Asanteni sana. Tafadhali tuketi. Mr. Deputy President, Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, the Right Reverend. I thought that is the new, I heard somebody else say it. And I thought because he is Papa wa Roma, maybe he now qualifies. The Right Honorable Speaker of Senate, former speakers, leaders, House leadership, commissioners, members of Parliament, members of, former members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Coming to Parliament is truly a homecoming of sorts. These premises were my workplace for 15 years. And I had tremendous opportunity here to grow my leadership skills, and I'm very proud of the place of Parliament in the leadership of Kenya. I keep telling our members of Parliament, especially whenever I have an occasion to engage with our parliamentary group, that Parliament is a very premium platform. Many people work so hard, campaign so hard to become members of Parliament, either in Senate or National Assembly. And it's a great privilege to serve the people. So whenever you have an opportunity to be a member of Parliament, please don't take it for granted. It is a very and that is why, in my mind, I have no doubt whatsoever that the resources that we have allocated for this Parliament to have the requisite infrastructure, capabilities for members of Parliament who are the people's representatives to discharge their responsibility and mandate is actually resources very well spent. And that is why it is my pleasure this morning to celebrate the culmination of a highly symbolic development project, which is a significant milestone on the Kenya Parliament's historic journey of growth as a national institution of critical importance. There is no doubt that the government has invested a great deal of public resources to provide our legislators with modern and high-quality amenities to enable them discharge their functions. And I speak against the background laid by the Honorable Speaker here. When I was first elected as a member of Parliament in 1997, 1998, there was no office for any member of Parliament here. And we became the first occupants, I think, after about 2 years, under the leadership of Speaker Kaparo, to occupy the building at Continental House. And it had many challenges, but it was a great improvement from us working from our private offices or from the parking lot in our cars. And because, members, you now have, according to your own admission, world-class facilities, we expect, and the people of Kenya expect, world-class representation, world-class legislation, world-class oversight. And looking at the facilities, and I tested them this morning, the committee spaces, in the offices themselves, you have now no reason, forget excuse, you have no reason not to give us and the people of Kenya the best of what you can do as our legislators. And I have no doubt that the quality of debate, having opened the library, and each member of parliament having some research people to work with, that the quality of debate, the quality of representation of legislation is going to greatly improve. And Mr. Speaker, if there is anything the Kenya government can do additionally to equip our members of parliament so that they can discharge their very central responsibility to the people of Kenya, I will spare no effort in working with you to make sure that it is done. There is no doubt that we've spent huge resources here, and let me say, in other words, our employer, the people of Kenya, have gone to great lengths to implement their end of the civic contract that exists between us and them. Consequently, as members of parliament, you have a moral and constitutional obligation to reciprocate the sacrifices the people of Kenya have made by intensifying your efforts both individually and collectively as parliament in order to render a strong contribution to the deepening of Kenya's democracy, expanding freedoms, entrenching the rule of law, and achieving economic transformation in the responsibilities that you have. Parliament has the cardinal responsibility to make sure that the resources people of Kenya put at the disposal of government is used as it was intended, and that it is not stolen, it is not misappropriated, it is not abused, and Parliament has a central place. And Mr. Speaker, I look forward to working with Parliament in making sure that the executive is held to account. When I made a commitment that members of the executive will come to Parliament so that you can interrogate them, so that you can ask them questions, so that you can hold them to account. And I am very happy that that process has taken off. Mr. Speaker, I expect to see more of engagement between the executive and the legislature by way of making sure that the public is well informed of government policy, by members of my executive coming to Parliament to answer questions, to expose government policy, coming to Parliament to explain to members development projects and programs, coming to Parliament to account for actions of my administration. I also want to say that you can count on our support because you have already demonstrated that every piece of legislation we bring, every piece of policy that we bring, Parliament has always gone out of its way to input, to inform, to enrich, to amend sometimes, and to make it better. I want to report to you that all the programs that we brought to Parliament and you have graciously passed, whether it is the housing program, I want to report to you that 140,000 young people around Kenya today are working in our housing program, people who are not working the previous year. I also want to report to you that we are finalizing our universal health care program that has been in the works for the last almost 15 years. And I want to commit to Parliament that because you have given us the legislative framework, you have given us the regulatory arrangements, we will make sure that that program goes forward and benefits the people of Kenya. The biggest beneficiaries of our universal health care program are members of Parliament. How so? The people in the WhatsApp groups raising money for this person and that person and the other person who has cancer, diabetes, and the other one are members of Parliament. Members, I'm trying to lift this big burden from your shoulders. So let us work together. I think it will be good if every citizen can walk into any health facility in Kenya and walk away without making a phone call to a member of Parliament to pay their bill. It would be a most important thing. This building, ladies and gentlemen, therefore, is a towering monument of every citizen's legitimate expectation that in return for their unstinting support, their leaders will apply themselves in a responsible, conscientious, patriotic, accountable, and honest manner to protect, uphold, and enhance the security, freedom, and prosperity of every citizen of the Republic of Kenya. In conceptualizing and building Bunge Towers, Parliament and the Executive were able to collaborate effectively and deliver a project of such magnitude in exemplary harmony. This building therefore symbolizes the power, partnership, and cooperation between arms of government to solve large-scale problems, transcend challenges, and achieve monumental positive impacts. It is an excellent demonstration that the bottom-up economic transformation agenda will be implemented on time if every arm of government gives it a chance, and if we are able to reach out in the spirit of goodwill, solidarity, and commitment to the values that unite all of us, irrespective of our political persuasions, regions, faiths, and other considerations. This building is not a monument to extravagance or grandeur in the service of vanity. It is not intended to symbolize entitlement or impunity in the sense of the ability of legislators to appropriate and expend public resources without accountability. That is not what it is. Rather, it should be a symbol of our sense of public duty, constitutional obligation, national values, and devotion to the national interest. When you look at this building and the magnificence of this building, it should remind you that you have a constitutional responsibility to the people who elected you and to the great country that we all belong. Therefore, Parliament is an institution, or as an institution, has no choice but to rise to the new era inaugurated by the opening of the Bunge Towers and deliver rigorous, effective, and consistent representation, legislation, and oversight. This moment in the history of our socio-economic and political development demands much higher standards from our national institutions, especially Parliament. We are gathered here to affirm our capacity to deliver this institutional quality and signal to Kenyans that henceforth there will be no excuses for poor, negligent, or unattentive performance. And as has been said here by members who've spoken, there is now no more reason for extra resources to travel to hotels and to places. I don't know whether that is true. Now that we have all the facilities here, the meeting rooms, committee meeting rooms, I hope I will see a significant drop, Mr. Speaker, in the budget of Parliament. Yeah, it must reflect somewhere. You guys have just said yourselves. Yeah. And the taste of the eating is of the pudding is in there. Yeah. So as you appropriate the next budget, just remember that Parliament does not now need money to go to hotels, and therefore the budget should come down. I am confident that every member of Parliament is up to the task and can deliver beyond expectations. I have no hesitation, therefore, in expressing my very strong expectation that this and future parliaments will satisfy our nation's demand for excellent service from its public servants. I wish you all success as you serve the nation from your new offices in Bunge Towers, and look forward to a stronger, positive collaboration in actualizing the aspiration of the people of Kenya. I also want to tell you, as a former member of Parliament, that I know and I understand the challenges that we all face as leaders, and progressively we must work in collaboration together to overcome those challenges and to better serve the people of Kenya. Let me persuade you on three very important things. Yesterday evening, I had a discussion with the CEO of National Government NGCDF, Mr. Mbuno. And my discussion with him was on the subject of ICT hubs. Because I had an engagement with the chair of ICT, my good friend John Kiarie and his team. And we agreed that the same way, by God's grace, we have jobs, it is our responsibility to work together to find opportunities for employment for other Kenyans. And one of the spaces in which we can create those opportunities is in the ICT space. I want to thank Parliament for amending the NCGTF Act so that today we can use resources under that program in developing ICT hubs. When I saw that that program was not moving, I looked for the people concerned, and I'm very happy that this morning I did instruct both the PS and the CS for ICT and NGCDF to have a meeting and conclude the challenges that were there so that members of Parliament can roll out ICT hubs across Kenya and provide opportunities for employment in our digital job framework for millions of the people we represent and who elected us. It is my expectation that in the next 3 to 4 months, ICT hubs should be up and running in every ward in Kenya. And I want to persuade members of Parliament to work with us on this program. The other program that I want to persuade you on us working together is the program on export of labor. We are currently working on bilateral labor agreements. And I want my good friend Mushangi, aka Karemba, to work with my ministry and your committee so that we can conclude on the bilateral labor agreements with your input and support so that we can provide a framework for more Kenyans to find job opportunities across borders. It is my intention that in the next 5 to 7 years, we should increase our diaspora remittances from $4 billion to $10 billion. It is doable, and it will go a long way in making sure that more and more Kenyans have incomes that support the growth of our economy. Members, you are the ones who appropriate public resources. You know very well that we spend 650 billion shillings every year for the education of our children. If we are spending 650 billion, we must also think about how do we get value from this investment of 650 billion. We must think about the people who come out of that investment. How do we monetize their knowledge, their talents, their expertise, their skills, and use it to drive the economy of our country and the progress of our nation. And that is why we have to be intentional, we have to be deliberate. And I'm very happy that I'm speaking to a body of the highest leadership of the Republic of Kenya, that as you people appropriate those resources, let's also think about the output. How do we create opportunities for employment? And that is why I'm very, very proud that yesterday, Parliament finally ratified the Economic Partnership Agreement that will now give us a framework for enterprise, business, exports, trade between Kenya and the EU, 27 countries of the EU. I also want to tell you that as you are passing the Economic Partnership Agreement, yesterday again, we were concluding another agreement with our friends of the UAE, again, to provide expanded framework for business, for entrepreneurship, for trade between our countries. And I'm very happy that when we concluded that meeting yesterday, we got an offer, first offer of $500 million of 70 billion Kenya shillings to support our programs as we build greater synergy and networks to support our economy. And later today, we will be having another engagement with American companies under the AmCham program, again to better expand our frameworks, especially that will provide Kenya with investment opportunities, especially in our special economic zones and export processing zones. I was with my friend Kingola in Athi River, and I made a commitment that with a new traction and momentum we have created, by next year, we will have an extra 20,000 jobs in Athi River EPZ. This is what we must do deliberately, intentionally, because we have a huge backlog of millions of young people out of school, out of college, out of university, who expect us to create opportunities for them through government intervention, government programs, and us providing an environment for the private sector to create jobs for our young people. Let me conclude by saying that, again, we thank God we have rains in Kenya. Because of the rains and all the other plans we have made, we've managed to grow our agricultural sector, and we are making progress in making sure that we reduce the cost of living by making sure that we do what we have to do to support our farmers. But even as we get the blessing of the rains, we also have seen floods in different parts of our country. Many Kenyans are going through difficult times. Yesterday in the morning, I had engagement with counties that are facing this challenge. We have mobilized the National Youth Service. We've mobilized our military. Members of the national government are working with the counties in collaboration to support those in distress. We have provided from our Ministry of Special Programs food and other amenities to support those in need. This morning, I have authorized the National Youth Service to provide land for those people who are living dangerously in some of the areas for them to be moved from those areas into some safe ground as we decide on what to do with them next. Shortly, I will be having another emergency session with our multi-agency teams to make sure that we provide adequate support to all those in need and to move citizens who are in dangerous areas that may be susceptible to floods away from those areas. And unfortunately, we will have to move some of them even without them agreeing, because otherwise they put themselves in danger. The Deputy President will be having a meeting tomorrow with all the other actors, including our development partners, to facilitate greater collaboration to deal with this challenge. And I want to ask members of parliament in their respective constituencies. I've managed to talk to a few yesterday. I've talked to some governors yesterday, for all of us to have a whole of government approach, a whole of society approach in supporting those in need. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we have a chance to deliver for Kenyans economic transformation that leaves no one behind. No man, woman, or child, wherever they live or work, and whatever their agenda of faith, must be part of our equation. We must remind ourselves of this duty to look out for every citizen at all times. It's now my pleasure to declare the Bunge Towers officially open. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless our great country. Asante sana.